Yo, what's the word? Yo, speaking of Nicki spoke with Charlie Kirk wife. Yo, what's the word? Welcome into episode 4 of the Gotti Show. You guys already know the drill, man. This show is not about playing it safe. It's about standing on your square, owning all your truths. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and the continued love, man. First and foremost, before I get started in this episode, I want to give a shout out to 50 Cent, man. 50 Cent gave me a repost from episode 3. If you have not seen episode 3, I suggest you tune in and check it out. Talking about the whole Tupac situation, it has really, kept me in the algorithm all week. So I just want to shout out to 50. 50, I see you. I know you got 50 Nation that you got coming out and you looking for podcasters and all of the things. So hit your boy Gotti. Man, so it's episode 4. You guys already know the drill. We're finna get straight into it. Rosenberg, Lord Styles, and Ebro show on Hot 97, the morning show, has come to an end. After many years, radio stations made cuts. Hot 97 decided to do away with the morning show. Also, another radio legend whose show was taken was Miss Jones. Miss Jones came back into the field just a couple years ago and kind of put the block on the map. It was a rock station previously. Don't quote me on that. That was a big thing that happened as well. And, the first thing that I seen a lot of people doing was kicking their backs in. And not so much Miss Jones, more so Ebro, because he spoke out.
Told y'all a couple of weeks ago when they tried to run that Andrew Cuomo play on me. Remember that? And then they tried, when the Trumpster got in office. Listen, man, I don't capitulate well, bro. Been doing this too long. If you look around all the major media outlets, man. All of them. Look at all of them. They all got to fold up because they all trying to renew their deals, their licenses. They all, in this particular situation, we'll get into more specifics another time. Especially for like a Hot 97 and a WBLS. They don't give a about hip hop or black music or black community. I don't give a none of that. Ebro in the morning on the YouTubes. Subscribe.
Ebro's got a little bit more press than Miss Jones, but what I will say is Miss Jones happened first. And I follow Miss Jones, so I kind of, stay in the know of all the things with radio that's going on with her. So, they removed her first. She spoke out about it about 2 or 3 days later, I think is when the thing happened with Hot 97. And, Hot 97 has already replaced those radio personalities with 3 new people. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all who these new people are. And they're not anybody that, I was privy to prior to seeing this. Now, of course, after they made the announcement, I went and did some research and, checked around and figured out who these people are. And it's good to see that one of the people is a podcaster. So it's good to know that they're sticking in a realm of people that are really hustling. Like one of the guys, his Instagram handle is My Name's Million. He said, yes, my name is Million. He's been outside working. And I appreciate anybody that's outside working because I'm always outside working. So, to know that the reach is there and that the radio stations, the program directors are really now starting to pull back the right people and get the right people back in those seats, I think it is a good thing because what I started to notice was that a lot of these program directors wasn't looking for anybody that was a media personality or that had a background in, the field of radio per se. They were just looking for who's hot in the streets, who can get this radio station popping, who can book these events outside of radio. They're not really focused on if you have a degree. Just walk into a radio station and say, hey, can I get a job? You don't just walk into a news station to become a news reporter. It is oftentimes steps that you have to work. And a lot of that is without pay. A lot of it is just you really hustling and believing in your dreams and hoping that one day somebody give you that opportunity. Hindsight, we're talking about how the kids are now not on a reading level of this or how academically they're not performing. What we faced is in 2022, And 2021 and 2020, you got to think about the people that graduated those years and how it affected them with getting internships. And not only the people that graduated those years, the people that started school those years, for not just college, for high school, for middle school, for elementary school. So I think instead of passing kids along, it may be okay to start holding kids back a year or 2 years because they missed an important time of learning, no matter what grade you was in, because we all just started to learn virtually. You know, it's bad enough that we send kids to school every single day and they don't even pay attention to the teacher. They're at home and was expected to do work and do these things. Nah, which is going to draw me back around to the thing that we talked about in episode 3. As I told you guys, we'll be discussing, things that have stood out over the past 5 years as we're winding down 2025. And as you can see, this is the Christmas episode here on the Kev Gotti Show. Episode 4, celebrating Christmas. Merry Christmas to all. Happy Hanukkah and all of the things. It's your boy Gotti. So, yeah, man, another thing that stood out, and it has affected each year since 2020. So it wasn't just a 2020 thing. Each year, COVID has played a part in something. Like, it's people still getting diagnosed with COVID as we speak. Like, I got a coworker that basically said he had COVID. Now, I don't know if he was lying to tell the truth because he was supposed to go on a trip to London. But, so they say. But, yeah, so 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, now we're here in 2025, and it's a 9-year. So I'm gonna let you guys know what a 9-year is. A 9-year is 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. So what do you do in a 9-year specifically? A 9-year is all about letting go. It's to release old stories, resentment, and commitments that drain your energy. Another one that they have is to create space. Finish unfinished business to avoid carrying burdens into the next cycle. Embrace change. Accept that some doors have closed and recognize new opportunities. Focus on the inner truth. Listen to your inner voice and align actions with your authentic self. So, all of those are things that you should do in a 9-year. And this is a 9-year, so it basically means to shed all of that old skin. Like a snake. It's the year of the snake, pretty much. It's to shed. You want to shed all of the old skin. And so the way that I'm taking that is, just not carrying anything further with me the new year. But we ain't at the new year yet, so we ain't gonna even get into all of that. How many days do we have until the new year? Today is Monday, December the 22nd. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days to continue to shed, man. So I want y'all to shed. In numerical numbers, everything has a meaning. So with the digits, that 9 just signaling a universal theme of completion, transformation, and endings, closing a 9-year cycle that began in 2016 and calling for reflection, letting go of the past, and preparing for new beginnings in 2026. It is time for spiritual growth and tying up loose ends to create space for future evolution with themes of compassion and universal consciousness. So, it is a year 9, man. Don't let the year end without shedding all of that old stuff, leaving it behind. We're moving forward. We're going into 2026 with a new trajectory. We're hoping that, all of the things that have affected us over the past 5 years, we can leave in the past 5 years and get through the rest of this decade, with pride and honor, man. So that's what I got to say on that. Continue to shed. You have 9 days until the new year, until the 31st, that is. And, another thing that's going on, man, Netflix has signed a deal with Warner Brothers. That deal closed for $82.7 billion. So Warner Brothers sold to Netflix for $82.7 billion. So one of the big things with that is the effect that it may have on the movie theaters. They're saying now that since Warner Brothers sold to Netflix that, it may affect the movie numbers. Warner Brothers isn't the only company out there, but it is one that is very forceful in the industry of film. So I do think that it will have some slight effect on movies. I don't think it would cause a situation that would force the movie theaters to shut down or anything like that. I think that's the picture everybody was painting online. You know how online everybody get in an uproar. I don't think that it will cause that. The movie theaters is changing, and it's been changing for years, and that's because of all the digital platforms like your Netflixes and your Hulus that can pretty much get the movie right then and you can stream it versus going to the movies. I still think people appreciate the art of going to the movies. I will say I went to see Wicked, didn't want to see it, but I went to see Wicked in 4DX, and it was nobody in the theater. Like, the theater was empty. So I think the movie theaters has been thin for a couple years, really, because of COVID. But we ain't gonna backtrack. We're moving forward. We're leaving that in the past. We're shedding all of that, leaving this 9-year. So that is a big one. But alongside Warner Brothers joining Netflix, The Breakfast Club has joined Netflix. Yes, The Breakfast Club with Charlemagne, Lauren LaRosa, Jess Hilarious, and DJ Envy, they have joined Netflix. Like, they have signed a deal to join Netflix. And not only them, there are going to be 15 other podcasts that they plan to put on Netflix in the year 2026, which I think is a win because it gives, people with a media platform a way to grow, to have a distributor. So kind of like when you sign just a distribution deal when you're a music artist, if that makes sense, they would be the face who essentially put the money behind and push you. So I think that is good because it's creating a new avenue. But, spinning a block back to the Hot 97 thing, when it comes to the people that they hire and them being, a podcaster, it is 2 guys and a female. I don't know much about them, and I'm just going to be completely honest. And I think that Funk Flex felt that way. I think that a bunch of other people felt that way when they saw this because of the people that they are replacing. So it's clear that Hot 97 probably needed to make a pay cut, allegedly, because these people, like I said, are not people with big names, so they're not going to require a large salary. We have to look at the people that was let go and the type of salary that they require. And I think that's one of the most important things when it comes to radio. If the station is not profitable, they're not going to keep somebody with this $1 million, $2 million, $3 million salary. But speaking of salaries, Charlemagne just extended his deal with iHeart because I know there was a lot of talks about his Breakfast Club getting canceled. People have been having their problems with Breakfast Club for years, but even now more recently, especially once Jess Hilarious joined, once they got Lauren LaRosa, a lot of people have really been speaking out about the Breakfast Club. But here to say, I don't think the Breakfast Club is going anywhere anytime soon. Well, let's just be clear. Charlemagne ain't going nowhere anytime soon because he just extended his deal with a $200 million deal. Now, Charlemagne didn't seem too happy about y'all knowing that. It came out in the Forbes article. But, I think that it's a great thing that his deal got extended, number one. Number two, Charlemagne made the comment that y'all are reporting that he got a $200 million deal and not even knowing what that means. Now, Charlemagne has The Black Effect, which he is producing all of these podcasts and helping people get podcasts, which I think is a great thing. I believe Giselle and Robin Dixon, they are under The Black Effect. I know that it's a million other people under there. It's a lot of people. I don't even want to start naming them and then, get incorrectly. But I know that's podcasters that I mentioned on a previous episode. So I want to shout out to Robin Dixon and Giselle Bryant. A bunch of other people Charlemagne is making a way for. I seen in the article, Charlemagne said he wanted a million mini hymns. And I think that, Charlemagne, despite all of really the way he rubbed me wrong when he reported on Nicki, because I don't know where the disconnect is there when he was on her, second album, did the whole interview, the press interview with her. I don't understand where his dislike for her come from. But back to my point, I do really appreciate Charlemagne because, for one, he's a guy. 2, he's someone that is a real radio personality. And I think that we have lost the way of what that is, and Charlemagne represents that, and he's always looking for the next person to put into place. So for that, Charlemagne, I say thank you, because I know the amount of work you've had to put in. I know how important it is to respect the art of reporting, respect the art of journalism. And I know a lot of people don't do that. Like, we all fill in these spaces and, just getting the mic and coming on to here and coming onto a platform and pushing our beliefs or the way we think onto other people. And it goes beyond that, especially when you're in the media field. And that's one thing that I like to always reiterate and make clear, that I'm doing this so I can show my work. I'm doing this so that I can display my work and have demos, because when you apply to these jobs, that's the first thing they're asking for. And I am well trained and well qualified to do the job. And I continue to do that here on the Kev Gotti Show. And until somebody come and offer us a deal, we will continue to be here, loud, live, and in color on YouTube, filming the Kev Gotti Show. I don't know what the confusion is with a lot of people. I know a lot of the old heads is now starting to throw their digs and suds at a lot of the people that's sitting in this seat, but you have to be respectful. And I think that is proven because, speaking on the Hot 97 things, I got a hold of a list that had a few prospects other than the 3 people that they hired that we know will now be replacing Ebro, Laura, and Rosenberg. But I want to go through the people that they had in mind. Like, this list is crazy. Typeset Brooklyn, Zeddy Will, who I reported on Zeddy Will. I think episode 1, I was telling y'all the kind of summer he was having and just his music, the way it was climbing the charts. So now Zeddy Will was a contestant. Rondell Smith, he's an independent, a journalist, Lena Harris, a journalist. Armand Wiggins, who's a YouTuber. Shout out to Armand. Ray, Hot 97, so that's somebody that they essentially would have boosted up. Roy Mal, y'all know Roy Mal from Joe Budden, when they used to be with Joe Budden. They are a podcast. Trent, who is a personality I would assume with iHeart, or either someone that's moving up in the ladder that they had in mind. And Roxy is another person with iHeart. So, to know that they had some people from iHeart in mind was a good thing. They had somebody from Hot 97, so they kept somebody from home office in there. They had Zeddy Will, who I think it's wow. Zeddy Will, who I think would have been a great addition. And Armand Wiggins, like Armand Wiggins' style, I don't think would have been fitting for the advertisement of it all when it comes to radio and the business side of things when it comes to that. But I think Armand is very capable of being polished. But I think that his style and his way of reporting, I think it's best that Armand continue to do it on YouTube or a platform that will pay him what he love or want. And clearly YouTube is doing that. So I say continue to do it on YouTube because you're unapologetic. The way you report, it's on you. No one can tell you how to report or what you should be saying or what not to say. You're unapologetically you, and you speak about the things that you want to talk about. So I think you have 100% creative control when it comes to radio. That's not always the case, and I think that's the thing that a lot of us get confused, because I have been, and in these rooms of radio, I know how it goes. I know oftentimes you coming in and you have a script already pre-written that you're reading from. I know that you have advertisements that you have to do. I know you have to be polished to do that, and it takes a journalist and a real radio personality to do that. But I definitely think if they would have built 2 people around Armand, like a Zeddy Will, and then a female in the middle of that, do you know how crazy that would have been for the culture? Zeddy Will, for one, is within our age bracket. And you have to realize that the way it's going, it's only a certain amount of people that's speaking out about us doing these things and taking these jobs. Like, it was actually hilarious to see all the people in those comments when they announced who the 3 new hosts were. That's one. But, back to my point, I just think that if they would have built a team like that, it would have been crazy. It would have been crazy because I can't even tell. I just know that would have been an amazing 3 out of the whole list. Now, I'm sure everybody else was great additions, and shout out to the people that were selected. There's no diss to them, but it was just funny that I got a hand in that list and Zeddy Will and Armand was on there. Those 2 are 2 people that I'm very proud and surprised to see. Now, I'm glad to see that that's the way we're going, because I was getting worried. I was with radio. But, man, and the elders, like I say, aren't happy. And it's only a certain age group of people that is unhappy, and it's those people from the 90s. I think these businesses, because you have to realize radio is a business, I think these businesses are realizing that they have to make cuts in order to get back ahead. I think that, it's time to let new people in. I'm not saying just fire these people and forget about them and they have families. Like I know someone said y'all just want all of us to get old, croak over and die. No, that's not the thing. But the thing is, if you guys have been gatekeeping for so many years and you don't even want to let us in, and we're down there fighting for our lives to even get these internships, we got to take it far in between when we can get it. That's why 90% of us have these shows and podcasts. It's not about getting on here because you want to be seen and be in a limelight. When you're a true artist and you're born with the gift, that don't leave you. All day long, things are coming to me. Ideas from not just sitting here podcasting. I'm a screenwriter, I'm an actor, a director, and a producer. So I always have ideas all day long, and I just think that it's so disrespectful to see a media personality who has been in the game for 20, 30, and 40 years. I know a lot of y'all was joking me about saying 40 years when it comes to the D thing, but these people are getting old. They're getting up there, y'all, because we getting old. I think that is disheartening to see that when they disrespect us or figure we're less than because we're trying to come into the game. Like, I understand it's been oversaturated over the past 5 years. Since 2018, I would say, is when the podcasting industry really started to take a stab and turn. But, you have to realize that some of us, this is our only way. So you have to see it through. This is our demo. This is our air check. So let's stop picking at people that are on a come up for doing their job. And if you're tired of seeing me, be prepared to be sick of me, because you're going to continue to see me. You're going to continue to see Kai Gotti because I'm pushing myself. I don't have a machine behind me. I am the machine. So I will continue to push myself. And I don't care what anybody have to say. I'm holding the torch for my age group. And sure, we're covering the news of the Gen Z and the rest of the millennials. We get so out of touch with these people that are in these spaces that they don't even know who half the time we are. Like, take, for instance, Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams said on her daytime talk show and didn't know who half of these people were over the last 2 to 3 years of her show. Was not in tune with who some of the rappers would be. Like, she would get hot topics on them and not know who they were. So you have to have someone from the generation that's coming, because it's really our time to represent that. And I'm just glad to see that. And I will continue to push myself until I'm where I need to be. And for y'all, for my peers that don't support and, sit back and, he think he this, he want to be, he always got to be, everybody want to have a show to that. You should be happy. That is someone in your age bracket that's really doing this shit and not doing it for gimmicks or likes, but really doing it because they have the passion, drive, and love and gift to do it, that they're doing it. And you have an opportunity to bring your stuff forward on a platform that would even give you an opportunity, because you're not walking into a radio station without dropping a bag for advertisement and sponsorships. Like, I think people forget that. People don't just give you that. I'm holding the torch for my generation. And until I get the recognition that I need, and it's not even about the recognition, until I get in the seat that I'm supposed to be in, I'm going to continue to do what I'm supposed to do. And even after, I'm just walking the path laid before me. You did. It's your boy, Kai Gotti. Woo! All right, so it is the Christmas edition. And one of these lovely bags have questions in it. I'm going to hope I don't pick the bag with the questions in it, because when it comes to rapid fire, I like to give an explanation, but I'm going to go ahead and choose this bag here. Let's see what's in. This bag have questions. So, all right, y'all, in the spirit of Christmas, we have received our first set of rapid fire questions in our little gift bag here on the Kai Gotti Show. I just want to thank, first and foremost, I just want to thank all of y'all for tuning in. I just want to thank all of y'all for all of the love that you guys have been giving me. Again, shout out to 50 Cent. It really kept me in the algorithm all week. Had me feeling great, and just to know that my work is not going unnoticed, even though I know that, nothing I do ever go unnoticed. The people that are supposed to see it will see it in due time, and I will reach those that I'm supposed to reach. But I just really want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Continue to support me. Continue to share the lives. Continue to tell a friend. Continue to watch, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. But with that being said, I have received my first set of rapid fire questions from our gift baggie here. And, okay. First rapid fire question. Council 1, sequels, remakes, or reboots? Reboots. And I'm going to put a twist on it. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to say reboots because I think with reboots, we wait too long. All right. Who's having the best year in pop culture? Ghana has been vindicated in so many ways. So many ways. Fuck the streets, ain't that what you said, 21 Savage? But hold on. We're gonna get there. One show everyone loves that you didn't. Ooh. One show everyone loves that you didn't. Ooh, Scandal. Scandal has been coming back around into my algorithm. I tried to watch it, but it just didn't keep my attention. I was more of a How to Get Away with Murder fan, but I think that I should probably check it out because it's been coming back into the algorithm, but I just couldn't get into it. So honestly, I'm lying. I'm not even gonna check it out. The other one is worst fashion trend right now. When it comes to fashion, I let people do what they do because you all have, your own self-expression. So whatever. Because people may not like what I have on, but I don't give a fuck. I'll put it on. Celebrity podcasts, yes or no? No. And here's why. Because as much as people like to say that smaller creators are coming in flooding the lane, I think celebrities are doing the same. They're looking for a quick or cheaper route out. And I think that they should stick to making music. Yeah. Biopics hit or miss. Biopics typically hit, and here's why. Because oftentimes they have, if not the person who we're telling the story about, we have people from the camp that can tell it. So I rock with biopics. Who needs a comeback? Ooh. When we say comeback, what do we mean, though? Do we mean like they fell off or just say, okay. So my producer's saying, who do I think needs a comeback? Young Thug. I think Young Thug needs a rebrand. I think Thug got out of jail, and just with everything that was going on involving the whole case, I don't think he got the proper rollout that he needed, and he's really not looking too good in the rap streets right now. But the way social media works, they hate you today and love you tomorrow. But Young Thug, one thing pop culture need less of. Haters, gatekeepers. People that are older that think you coming to take their spot or take their salary bag when that ain't the case. Spotify Wrapped, accurate or lies? My Apple Rap, I don't use Spotify, so my Apple Rap is very accurate. I think I had, I know I had Nicki as number 1. I had Jacquees as 2. I think Ghana was 3. 4 was Young Boy. 5 was probably like, let me see. Who's 5? 5 was Escape. And that's pretty much accurate for me. Now, that's just my top 5. That's not like my main list. So, yeah, Ghana, No Cap, Nicki, Top, which is Young Boy, Ghana, and Escape. Those are 6. But my list is long. We'll get into that on a later show. We'll talk about that on a later show. Reboot culture. Lazy, unnecessary. I kind of answer on with this. I said reboot culture is unnecessary because I think they wait too long, and then these people are older. Shall I say? No, I ain't gonna say old. They're older, and it's kind of like, whatever. Should did this 20 years ago, but hey, movie theaters are streaming at home. Of course, movie theaters is my thing. I'm a kid that enjoy movie theaters. I remember we used to have a $1 movie theater really in my hometown. And when I moved to Raleigh, I think they had one, but they closed one in Raleigh fairly quickly. Cancel one app forever. Ooh, cancel one app forever. Cancel one app forever. What app would I cancel? What app would I cancel? Cancel one app forever. I don't know. Gonna pass that one. Viral doesn't mean good, true or false. Viral doesn't mean good, true or false. False. I think there's a moment to capture any viral moment. Like, there's a way to capture any viral moment. There's a way to benefit from it, shall I say. Best era of rap music, 2010 to 2016. For Grace, 2010 to 2018. That wasn't too bad. That was the first set of rapid fire questions. That wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad, y'all. All right, so it is time we move along in the lovely show. My lovely presence here. What do we have next? All right, man. So we got to talk about my boy Kai Cenat. He popped back outside at the Streamer Awards, received Streamer of the Year, gave a lovely speech, let everyone know, he was kind of going through some things over the past couple months after his break of Mafia-thon 3, a lot of mental health issues. And then, of course, now that Kai has spoken out, everybody else have been talking about their mental issues and the things that they're going through and this, that, and the third. I think it's lovely. I'm glad everybody's sharing. I shared my journey over the summer. If you have not seen those YouTube videos, you can go watch those. We all go through things as people that are artists and creators, and we really have to protect our mental. And like I said earlier, I think people forget that we're oftentimes born with this gift. It's not just something that we acquire. So it's kind of hard. And you're already balancing out life and just thinking of the unknown. So I want to say shout out to Kai Cenat. That speech was everything. I'm glad that you are talking to your people and letting them know how important mental health is. Now, after the Streamer Awards, things went a little left. Tylil got some essay allegations against him, allegedly. And the girl pretty much been crashing and burning. I wasn't going to report on it until I got online today and seen that she deleted her social medias after, crashing and burning about Tylil. But I let them figure that out. A lot of people had a lot of things to say about them comparing Kai to Diddy at the awards. They called them out about that. Clover Boys called them out. And then they tried to, I guess, people try to paint it like they were being racial towards Kai by asking him when's the last time he stole something. But y'all, we gotta stop trying to point everything towards the race card, because didn't he just steal Duke's shoes and set them on fire? Y'all didn't think that that's what them people was talking about. But hey, maybe I'm just dense. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it. Man, Wendy Williams is set to be free by year's end, Joe Tacopina announced on Dateline. Dateline. I did that the last time I was talking and I called out a publication. I called it Dateline when I was trying to say Nightline. That was embarrassing. I had to roll with it because when we're live, you have to just roll with it. But on Nightline, Joe Tacopina, who is Wendy Williams' attorney, has said that she should be free by year's end, which you guys know we got 9 days. And he's saying that she should be free. Everybody putting their think pieces on it, saying that she won't, and it's not that simple, this, that, and the third. But gotta leave it to Wendy and her lawyers. Shout out to Wendy, praying for you. I hope that is true, and I hope that you can get back to work, which I'm sure you already got things in motion and in line. So, Wendy, shout out to you. Nas dropped an album, y'all, with DJ Premier titled Light Years. He had a song that sent social media, up in arms, and it was titled Bouquet. It was a line that went Nicki, Foxy, and Kim. And, a lot of people was like, oh, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Nicki, Foxy, and Kim, I feel like, are the innovators of it all. I know I finished up episode 3 and told you guys about Lil' Kim getting Billboard's greatest album cover of all times. I think Nicki, Foxy, and Kim, in that order, just set the tone for female rappers all across the board. Now, those are not the only 3 he named. He named pretty much every female rapper that made, an impact into this game, into that song. If you guys want to check it out, it's on his new album with DJ Premier titled Light Years. New York City. MTA to be exact. You done raised the fare to $3 starting January. On top of that, you done put these new $1 million turnstiles in the city. Well, you got 3 locations in the city that you done put up these new turnstiles that are supposed to stop fare invaders, but you continue to raise the price of the train. Now you got the gates, I'll put it like this. If you ever been to JFK and you leaving JFK going to Stephen Boulevard to get on the train, the little things where you got to pay and one person enters at a time, they got that now around the city. Don't bring this to Brooklyn. Don't bring this to Brooklyn. So I shouldn't pay $3 every time I get on that motherfucking public transportation. That's number one. But hey, man, say, man. Ooh. No, 21 Savage has just announced a Fuck the Streets movement, but we'll talk about that later, y'all. Everybody up in flames about that. I think that the idea of what he said was wrong, and I just want to correct that because my boy is a Libra, and I just want to clear the air on that right quick. And 21 has made it clear that his statement about fuck the streets is not how y'all trying to paint it. He said, when I say fuck the streets, I'm talking about the part that gave me trauma and made me can't sleep at night. If you ain't tired of that part, you ain't been through it. That's episode 3. That's episode 4. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm trying to backtrack. And, you know, we going into the week of the holiday season. Christmas is here. And I just want to say that stay blessed, stay prosperous on this holiday season. Don't go broke trying to please an ungrateful motherfucker. Don't lose your peace. Don't get into no arguments with nobody that don't understand you or know your worth or know who you are as a person. Continue to prosper, spread love, show joy and peace in this world. Continue to be a light and, you know, the temptations not here. What I say. We want you a Merry Christmas. All right, y'all. It's your boy Gotti. This is episode 4. I am out. Yo, it's your boy Gotti, man. Happy holidays. I need you guys to tune in to episode 4 on YouTube. I want to say shout out to everybody who has been showing love thus far. It's your boy Gotti.